Hi, good afternoon. My name is Camille Carmali, and I am your host for our next live session here at Automation Fair in Chicago 2022. Topic today is going to be cybersecurity services, and I'm humbled to be joined by Rachel Conrad, General Manager and Vice President of our Customer Support and Maintenance business, together with Mark Cristiano, our Global Director for Cybersecurity Consulting Services here at Rockwell Automation. Welcome.
Thanks.
Thanks, Camille.
Great show so far.
Absolutely, very
Rachel,
exciting.
I'd like to start with you because we're going to really talk about the major updates we've made in cybersecurity services under your leadership over the last year, but we have an immersive environment with an actual live security operations center.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that? What's the impact for our customers and how exciting is it for us?
Well, first off, it's exciting just being here in Chicago. I mean, the people and just the vibe is really exciting being back in person.
Yeah.
For the first time, as you said, we have our Secure Operations Center, and the people are stacked back and wanting to see what's happening over there. But what's really cool about it is it's really simulating what our actual Secure Operations Center is doing in Israel. And so we have a threat actor trying to get into an OT environment, and he's sitting in his black hoodie behind a screen, and you can actually see like all the what the other team is monitoring. So we do a red and blue team simulation, and then the moderator walks through what's happening, because I think that's one of the things that people don't think about the OT environment as having high cybersecurity risks, and they really do. So we simulate real things that can happen in that environment.
Absolutely.
And so it's really cool to see it in action.
It seems to be the busiest traffic on the show floor
I know.
this year.
Yeah.
Mark, can I ask you, so to that comment as a follow-up for Rachel, what sets us aside in the industry being different than other security operations providers within automation?
Sure, yeah. So I think it's no surprise that there's a tremendous skills gap in cybersecurity professionals.
Right.
And that's even more acute in the OT side of the cybersecurity role. So our customers will deploy a lot of complex countermeasures aimed at protecting their facilities. And they have a difficult time operationalizing it. Day two, how do I look at alarms? How do I triage? How do I react? That's the skills gap that we're filling through this OT-specific Secure Operations Center. Our OT SOC analysts are very, very different from IT SOC analysts. IT SOC analysts are used to looking at a switch is a switch is a switch.
Yeah.
Our analysts have to look at that disparate nature of assets that are out on the shop floor, 20-year-old control systems, PLCs, drives, from all different OEMs, and that's really what we're bringing to the market to be the #1 managed security services provider in the world. And that's where we're going.
And I think that's like really powerful, because it's not just like knowing you have an alert. It's like, I don't know what to do. Like, our customers don't always know what to do with that.
Yeah.
And so like, no, this is the action that you need to go take, or we can help you with that action is really the thing.
Mark, you said something interesting, but as I was listening to you talk, I realized that's kind of the end game, is to have the workforce skills gap filled by a true managed service provider. What's the first step that people usually take? So are they benchmarking their cyber journey based on a framework? Is it?
Yeah. So we subscribe to the NIST framework, which is every cybersecurity professional is really well aware of that framework, which advocates three pillars of countermeasures, if you will.
So for the audience, that would be identify, protect,
right,
detect, respond, recover.
Right. So we've overlaid the services portfolio to help customers, no matter where they are, to help them with remediation. So on the front end of the defend, so there's a number of different starting points. There's risk assessments, there's vulnerability assessments. Those are usually starting points for a relatively immature cyber customer. And then asset identification, which is what I alluded to from a managed services perspective. That's such a wide and varied environment, and you need to know what is out there, what the vulnerabilities that are existing within that installed base, because you can't protect what you can't see.
Yeah.
And that really, that phase identifies what we call the protect surface. So now you've got your arms around what you need to do and what you need to protect. We move into the detection phase, and we'll overlay sophisticated countermeasures. Think about threat detection software, endpoint protection, USB kiosks, things like that. And then we move into what I alluded to with the SOC in terms of the day two managed services.
Sure.
You need to ingest all of that data in order to continually look at your risk profile and identify any threats that come in.
Got it. Rachel, I wanted to ask you, often in the industry we hear this theme of collective defense. We can't all just do this as one entity, government, private,
Yeah.
public sector. Can you talk to me about investments that you've decided to make around cybersecurity partnerships, how we select partners, and why that ecosystem is so important?
Yeah, I mean, I think just as you're saying, the environment's very volatile in cybersecurity, but also like the technology is amazing and it's rapidly changing, and there's really amazing technology providers out there. And what I see Rockwell's role is picking those very best pieces of technology, bringing them together in that OT environment, and helping our customers with, like know what to do with the technology. And so when we're selecting partnerships, we're looking at like how does that technology fit within the tech stack?
Sure.
We want to make sure like Mark said, is like there's different, all that technology is like sources of information that are threat feeds to the SOC. So
we can ingest those.
We can ingest them, and we want to like pick purpose-built technology for those. So partners like Clarity, like Dragos, like Cisco, like CrowdStrike, I mean, all of those are very best technologies that fit together, but without our OT expertise, they're not as powerful. And so that's how I think like bringing all that together helps the customers in the manufacturing
Well, we've
space.
made a lot of very exciting announcements this year around partnerships, and I'm assuming more to come,
More to come,
next year.
always more
Okay.
to come, yeah.
Mark, last question for you.
Yeah.
You spent a lot of time talking to CISOs, CIOs. What are the 2 or 3 main outcomes they are focused on in today's world?
Well, cybersecurity is now a board level directive, so CISOs are obligated to report to the board on their cybersecurity posture, as well as there are new guidelines that are coming in for breach reporting and whatnot. Cybersecurity is now built into the fabric of an organization. I spent a lot of time with our CISO, Nicole Ford, this week. She gave me lots of really impactful insights about what she's concerned about, what she's being requested to deliver to ensure that we protect our own facilities, which is what we do, using our own services and the technology partners.
Yeah.
So it's complex, but I think that what we're seeing is a general increase in awareness from CISOs who traditionally came from the IT world. They now know that OT is absolutely essential to be able to protect, and I think they're upping their game in terms of getting competent, bringing partners in like ourselves to help them with their cybersecurity
I
journey.
think they feel more accountable to
Yeah.
the OT environment as well.
They definitely feel and there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Right.
There
Okay. Well, I want to thank you. This has been outstanding. Lots to come, a lot more excitement. I'd like to ask everybody to continue watching and joining us for live stream events here at Automation Fair in Chicago. So Mark, Rachel, appreciate your leadership, and let's have a good rest of the show.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for joining us.
Well, that one.